Hey, this is me building a $3 million a year business in public. The way these videos always go is I start them with some YouTube comment Q&A, and that's just to deliver you guys some value, and it's also a growth hack for my channel, because the more comments you get on YouTube, the more they promote your work to new audiences. Then I do some building strategizing in public before finally chatting some growth across YouTube, Instagram, and my products. If you guys don't know who I am, this is the main channel here, the one I started with, 175K subs, and this is just a daily updates channel where I chat about anything and everything that comes to mind, everything that I'm thinking about, and obviously I also answer your questions. So I just head over to the community tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom. Boy, do we have a lot of great questions. Good Lord, my goodness, are we getting up there? Whew. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with these. Whew. Anyway, if you guys ask a question on any one of these videos, I will eventually get to it. I normally do like 5 or 10 questions a day. Looks like we are 10 days out from BIOS X. Hey Nick, I really need your advice. I'm 21 years old and I use a wheelchair, don't have a mom or dad, and I live alone. But watching all your videos, I honestly really appreciate every single one of them. But the truth is, most of the things you share require some sort of help or resources, and I don't have much. All I want is to make at least $500 using AI online. Just that. I'm not asking for anything crazy, just need something that can give me a bit of income and hope. Please, if you have any advice or suggestions, I'd be very grateful. I love your content and I really respect what you're doing. Thank you. Hey man, listen, I mean, right off the bat, you demonstrated a keen opportunity to write on the internet and to garner, support and empathy from people all over the world that you've never met, clearly. I see Seb, Tom, Zohan, and myself. So you have some skills. You probably just don't realize that they are skills. Sounds like you're in a tough spot insofar that, you don't have help or resources. You don't have either of those. But the good news is you have a very achievable goal. To make $500 using AI online is not very difficult whatsoever. And there are a lot of people out there that are in really, really crappy positions that, fall into $500 or more. I don't think that that's an unachievable goal or anything. I think you can definitely do it. Probably the first thing that I would want to know is just whether or not you have, the ability to use your hands. I mean, you're talking about a wheelchair here. If you do, then, you could still use a computer and so on and so forth. You could still drag and drop. Whereas if you type this using some sort of like voice dictation thing, it'd be a lot more difficult because you can't really use like, make.com drag and drop modules and stuff like that way. Assuming that you do, I think the simplest and straightest line path for you is probably just to, get like a make.com or n8n subscription. Make.com is a free tier, which allows you to, I think, make up to like 2,000 operations or something like that, completely free. You can follow along the vast majority of my make.com online series. Just head over here to Make for people who want to make money, Nick. I have a big playlist basically set up that runs through everything that you need to know about how to get up and running with make.com. And these are bite-sized. Well, I guess depends on how big the bite is. These are pretty bite-sized videos where you can run through and then just learn how to like actually do the dragging and the dropping, which is, not the most important skill, but definitely a permissive skill where if you don't have that, you can't do anything else. Okay. Once you have that, you've already done 50% of the work. Just a matter of putting your skill set in front of people and then offering to solve problems that they have. So it depends on, the level of resources you have here. Simplest and straightest line path to getting customers, I always say, for people that are total beginners with no prior or pre-existing business experience is this platform here. It's called Upwork. Very straight line path because on Upwork, basically, it's like a marketplace where people that are looking to have things done for them can post job requests or RFPs looking for people who have the skills necessary to fulfill them. So once you have these make.com, n8n, or drag and drop no code skills, it'll be a lot easier for you, obviously, to just respond to one of those because the people already have money in their hands and they've already said exactly what they want, and then scope things out and then do the job for them. This does require a little bit in the way of resources. The cost per acquisition is still much, much lower than the vast majority of other things you could do. So I'd still recommend it for you. I think we had Maxi write a really good post in Maker Skool just earlier called Upwork Unlimited Money Glitch. What he basically did was he went through and then he spent 9,400 connects over the course of, I think, the last half a year or so, aka $1,412. And he made $21,672 with that. If you just do the math on this, 21,672, that's an acquisition cost of about 6% of the total sum. If you try and, do the math for other things, cold email and I don't know, pay-per-click ads and stuff like that, you usually have to spend a lot more money. So despite the fact that it probably seems like a pretty large sum of money to you right now, just want you to know that you are going to have to spend some money to make money on the internet, or you making your life extraordinarily, excruciatingly difficult. And Upwork is probably the simplest and easiest way that you could make some. And then from there, you'll have a bit of income and you can do what's called bootstrapping your business. So, the whole idea is you spend, I don't know, let's say $100 and you make $500. So now your Monopoly money bank account is $400, right? So now the next time you spend $100, you make $500. Well, now your Monopoly money bank account is $800. Maybe the next period you spend $200 and then you make $1,000. So now you're at $1,600. Then you spend $400 and you make $2,000. So now you're at $3,200, right? And in that way, you are trading your time and your skills for money while you are working on your skills. And it becomes a knock-on sort of cumulative thing that allows you to take larger and larger risks in order to get what you want out of life. So back when I was pretty broke and was sleeping in a garage, I was very, very bottlenecked by my resources. Probably had like $1,500 in my bank account or something like that, 1,500 CAD, which is about 1,000 American dollars. Wasn't very much money at all at the specific point that I'm talking to you about, but I had very little to fall back on, and I made the mistake of like jumping into entrepreneurship with absolutely nothing. I wouldn't make that same mistake again. I would definitely like have a job or have some sort of stable base. So if you don't have like any money whatsoever, then maybe consider that versus like trying to do an online business model from scratch. Better to have like a little bit of latitude, I would say. Better to have like a little bit of a safety net just in case things don't go your way. A lot of the time it takes longer than you think in order to see results with anything that you do. But anyway, I took that $1,000 and I turned it into something like $50,000 over the course of a few years. And it was very, very difficult for me to do so. And I bled, sweat, and tears. And I spent a lot of time and energy neglecting other things. But I ended up doing it. And from there, with the 50 grand or so that I had in my bank account, it was a lot easier for me to take larger, more measured risks and then grow. And now I make, many multiples on that $50,000 every month. I make more than that every week, actually. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you, my man. Okay, any content suggestions from you for me to do to be consistent in content creation? Well, Harshit, you are definitely getting there with the hearts that you're dropping. Let's see. Oh, dude, very cool, very cool. Oh, I like what you're doing here. Nice. I like your thumbnails. They're nice. The black ones with you in the white shirt look really cool. I see you're using Excalidraw. That's pretty fire. I don't really know if I'd use this animation thing at the beginning. I find stuff like that's pretty overplayed, if I'm honest. But yeah, no, this looks pretty solid. Things to talk about. If you aren't very good at this stuff, it's going to be more difficult for you to come up with stuff to talk about. But a quick and easy way you can do so is you just use tools like 1 of 10 or vidIQ. Or you can do, if you have N8N, you can use Leonardo, I think. It's Leonardo de Gregorio's content. Let's see, verified content creators. It's like Leonardo Gregorio, N8N. I think he has a creator page. I'm just not 100% sure. Oh yeah, here you go. This is his outlier detector that he built entirely in N8N that doesn't actually require money to start. And he gives it to you for free. It's right over here. So that just replicates the functionality of these tools in case you had a little bit of additional time. This one's pretty popular, and I've actually built variants of this multiple times. He helped me build one for myself, so shout out to Leo for that. How you doing, by the way, Leo? Hopefully you're doing well, my man. So yeah, you can check that out as well. And then that'll give you just a bunch of content that's performing well that you can like repurpose or reuse to make better content. Hopefully that makes sense. Love your content. Really appreciate. The question is, do you think content creation is a good thing to do if I want to get a client for AI automation? Planning to start creating content on Instagram and YouTube for businesses to build trust? No, definitely not. If you're at the start line of your business, you don't have any money to speak of, no accomplishments, no nothing, do not start content on YouTube. YouTube is very, very difficult to get up and running with. That initial period where you have 0 subs to 100 subs, that could take you like months in order to breach. During that period of time, you will have no income and you will be spending a bunch of time just trying to do your hair and look good on camera when you could have been spending time getting in front of customers that might actually need your services and talking to them in a more directed fashion. So no, I don't think content creation is a good thing for you to do at all. I've tried talking about it all day. Obviously, I'm on YouTube where people like want to be YouTubers and stuff. So it's very difficult for that message to come through, but do not start with YouTube. Start with cold outbound, start with Upwork, start with like the simplest, smallest step. And once you're on the staircase, once you're on the ladder, it's a lot easier for you. Congrats on killing the make money game. Wondering if there are any moments in your journey that stand out where your mindset really shifted? Absolutely. My biggest mindset shift probably of my entire life was when I had a conversation with my partner at the time. His name was Gurinder. We were going door to door. He was my door to door partner. And I've lived through many seasons of life with that fella. And so much of just my mindset is like based off of the experiences that we shared. But anyway, I was like really stressed and pretty neurotic about success. And I was thinking about it all the time. I was like, am I going to be successful? Am I going to make money? Am I going to make it past this like super broke, poor ass period where I'm eating ramen noodles? Are we eventually going to stop eating Save on Foods bagels with home brought cream cheese? Are we eventually going to stop having to go to Gerinder's mom's house so that she makes us like little chickpea doll? Which was fantastic, by the way. Well, anyway, obviously I made it out looking back, but when I had a conversation with him about it, I said something along the lines of, yo, do you think I'm going to be successful? And he just like looked at me and he had this like very severe look in his eye because he tends to just like stare you down. Guy's got like earth shattering gaze, he'll just like look right through you. And he said, of course you're going to be successful. You talk about it all the time. Anything that you think and talk about for as much as time as you do, you will eventually be successful at. You think about it all the time. So of course you're going to be successful. Like, of course. And just the way he did it made me feel like an absolute idiot, which I'm very thankful to him for. Because when he was just like, of course, like, no shit, of course. It was just so confident that I was going to be successful. It just took a massive load off my shoulders. And it made me realize that like success isn't really anything special. If you spend a big chunk of your life doing something, it is unreasonable to expect that you would not eventually be good at that thing. It's just how the human brain works. We have a miraculous, most complicated machine in the universe sitting between our 2 ears. Most complicated for now. Just wait until GPT-6 comes out. But that was a major unlock for me. It allowed me to get out of my own way, and I'm very thankful to him for that. Okay, 62 Darkblade says, have you thought about having a VA curate the questions for you so you can keep up with them? They could delete spam, post tech replies to repetitive questions, or possibly point them to a video where you've already answered it. I've considered it. I do like not having a VA for stuff. It's kind of nice to just be able to do it all myself, but thank you, man. Matthew gives me a fire. Hey, Nick, question. When you mentioned the best automation sold to business is a cold outreach system, let's say I want to do the same for other businesses and I'll do it with cold emails using Instantly. Do you have the customer make an account on Instantly and pay for the domains? Yes. Or do you do it all for them on your account? If so, is it smart to use your personal account for this? No, I just have the customer do it all. Hilrez says, W, I'll be in Maker School by the time you come across this message. Hell yeah, Hilrez. Thank you, my man. Welcome. Antonio says, when it comes to positioning yourself in the market, would you prefer to say that you are an expert or ignore it? Yeah, definitely. You are the expert here. Expert is just very much a subjective and heavily loaded term. I just treat it as I know more than the person I'm talking to. I got a question. You obviously got a massive Skool community, but how do you get the first 5, 10, 50, and 100 members from posting these videos, says Mamoon. And Kaz says he got all his network to join the group, so he started off with a batch of people already. Yep, that's right. What I did for my first 25 members or so was I basically just went through my Twitter and then I went through all my YouTube comments and I found a bunch of people that liked me and that I'd like had one-off text or video conversations with. And then I just said, hey, I'm starting a community. The idea is it's going to do X, Y, and Z. Just to be transparent, I really want feedback. I really want a couple people to jump in, like make intro posts. Would you be okay doing that? It'd be really great to have you. I'd obviously get you in for free. I just sent an invite over to your email address if you want to accept it. Then they came in, I asked them to do an intro post. They introduced themselves. They talked about all the success they'd had in business and stuff like that. And then that helped me just like get some initial activity. It's very difficult to get a first customer in there if you have like 0 people in a group, because community is all about people, right? It's all about the relationships that exist in the space between human beings. If you do not have people in a group, it's going to be very difficult to get people into a group. W Sonic says, if a client pays a bill of custom automation, do they own it outright if they stop working with me, or should the contract specify terms? My recommendation is you just have them own it outright. It's just not really good to gatekeep that sort of thing, gatekeep IP and whatnot. That seems like something that's very old school. And also just like you have so much plausible deniability with automations and systems. What is an automation really? It's a connection of N8N flows or make.com nodes. What are those? Those are just like AWS Lambda functions basically with certain parameters. Can you really patent a collection of AWS Lambda functions? I mean, maybe, and I'm sure a legal case could be made for it, but I guess there's just so much plausible deniability, it doesn't really matter. So my preference is to just give away literally everything all the time, and then I don't really worry about anything else. Futures Kevin Gong says, definitely reminds me of a younger version of Hormozy. On top of the ungodly work ethic, it's his ability to think and communicate big ideas clearly. Thank you very much. Leo says, hey Nick, what's your actual daily routine with work? Like actual daily routine. What do you do when you wake up? What time are you up? What time do you spend on Upwork Looms, building, testing, cold email, sales calls, etc.? Normally I wake up sometime between like 5 to maybe 6 a.m. I don't use an alarm to get up simply because I don't like what it does to my adrenaline and cortisol levels. People get shocked out of sleep with an alarm, and I find it just jars the first like 30 to 60 minutes of your day. I'd rather let nature wake me up. After that, I immediately go to Make Money with Make. That's my higher ticket community. And I respond to all of the posts that I see that have had activity on them in the last 24 hours. That involves either responding with text posts, using Aqua to dictate text into a little Skool window to give value, or recording custom Loom videos to give to people in my community that solve specific problems. Then I do the exact same thing for Make Money with Make. Then I do the exact same thing for Maker School. After I'm done with that, I go through all of my Maker School roasts. Usually I have way more roast requests than I do in Make Money with Make, simply because, there's like 5x the size and people tend to be beginners. They need more support and stuff. Once I'm done with that, I will usually have some sort of call. So that occurs 8 or 9 a.m. So on the days when it's 8, sometimes it cuts me off. On the days when it's 9, I usually manage to finish that stuff before the call, which is valuable. From there, that call is like a community call usually, or some sort of like coaching thing, or it's like a sales call for Left Click or whatever, but it's a call. At that point, I'm usually fully warmed up and good to go. Then after the call, I'm even more warmed up and good to go, and then I'll just do this video here, this daily updates video. So I did a couple calls this morning, for instance, and it's currently 11:19 a.m. So from 9 until 11, I did a weekly community call, and then I did a podcast with Jack Roberts. Did those two, and now I'm all warmed up. Now I'm chatting on daily updates. Once I'm done with daily updates, if I have content to do for the main channel, I'll do content then. And then everything else for the rest of the day is just all agency work. It is reviewing new clients that we've gotten for Left Click. It is designing proposal templates like I did the other day. It's recording Loom videos for people that we are considering working with, that we're trying to pitch. It's discussing things with my business partner, Noah. We're revamping our website right now, so I'm working with a developer for that. I passed it off. He didn't follow the instructions step by step, unfortunately, so I needed to like jump in and do some more reviews. And then, just like low value tasks for the rest of the day after that. And the reason why I position it in that order is because this is just all the stuff that makes me the most money to the least money. So I just start with the thing that makes me the most money and just work my way down the stack. Which makes sense, right? Something is really important and makes you a ton of money. You should just start your day with it. Only takes me a few hours to do this. And then from there, I'll just, relax for the rest of the day. I don't know. My work log is usually like sometimes between 5 to 10 hours a day. Some days I spend like 14, 15 hours, and those are pretty intense days. Other days I spend like 5, 6 hours. Those are usually less intense days. But the most important thing is I always just get all of those daily actionables done. If I hit the gym or whatever, I hit them after my daily actionables and stuff. Hey, Nick, how to sell something new in the world of AI? I got a hands-on, powerful blog writer. Sum it up, it picks up latest news trends and generates high-ranking content. Doesn't even cost $2 per blog post. It's strong, but I don't know how to market a solution because agencies are already spammed with emails from other AI automation agencies, and they also use an existing set of tools which they're comfortable with. How do I make them understand the value of automation, make them interested in it? WF6759 says create content. Well, you made the cardinal mistake of building something without validating demand for it. So unfortunately, you're in between a rock and a hard place. You've spent all this time and energy investing into a product which you think is good, but you don't know for sure. And now you're running into issues where it's like, okay, people actually don't really want this. Shit. Now, in the future, just validate demand first. Actually go to market with a very small, simple MVP of the thing you built. Spend 30, 45 minutes just testing it, making sure it works. And then literally start saying, hey, I built this system that does X, Y, and Z, a bunch of cool stuff. I think I can make you X, Y, Z money. Let's book a call, let's chat. Like try and actually take it to market first before building it. Then when you actually get the first bite on the hook, then you can start doing the actual content system, right? And then you can actually like flesh it out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my advice for you right now. Like you have this product, so it's just a conversation that you need to have with yourself. How much time and energy do you want to invest marketing something that you may or may not be able to, that may or may not have market demand, right? Like I'd try for sure. You spend a little bit of time on it, right? You might as well squeeze as much juice as you can, but eventually you'll reach the point in which it's sunk costs and which it doesn't really make sense to do anymore. So maybe give it like, give it like 3,000 cold emails or something like that. And once you're done with those 3,000 cold emails, then yeah. All right, let's do some brand stats here. What brand stats are is basically I've been tracking my following for the course of the last little while. And I'm just going to switch my account over to my main YouTube. Let's go here. That's annoying. We just got a bunch of guts from Berserk memes. Did y'all really need to see that? Griffith. Okay, what's my Instagram channel at? I use this tool called Blast Up. Basically just pings my Instagram channel once a day. 309-378, so that's growing. And then my daily updates channel. Nope. We're over here, I guess, maybe. Let's go analytics. That one is 11,952. Cool. That looks good. I don't actually need to wait for the page to load. Awesome. Yeah, great, great, great. So, yeah, good day. This is day 2 back from my little trip. Fortunately, I did not post the daily update video I recorded yesterday, so I posted it today instead. So I'm going to be one day behind or ahead from here on out. That sucks. I'd actually like recorded the video and everything like that. I created the thumbnail. I literally did everything. I just did not publish. So I hate when that happens because obviously I maintain the daily consistency, but now I have a little blip in my my YouTube analytics thing. But whatever is what it is. I wonder how many days I've actually missed since I started my daily updates. I think I'm at over 183 days now, right? So it's been over half a year. Let's see. If I click on this, you can see it's 186 videos. My oldest video is 6 months ago. Can I get the date? February 4th. So days since Feb 4, 2025. It's been 190 days, and I published 186 videos. So on average, I screw up once every month and a half. And another one of my issues was exactly this issue as well. Man, have my thumbnails changed, huh? Jesus. If you guys like want to watch the synthesis of this channel, check out that video. How would I create another 39K per month? Because this is back when I was making 100 something thousand. And I was like, I feel like the daily updates channel is a good and simple way for me to make more money. Let's give it a try. So then I made it and then I recorded this video about it and then I published it. Yeah, the thumbnails have changed. This is when I fired the thumbnail editor that I was doing. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to make my thumbnails myself. Probably going to be way easier. Immediately after I did my views shot way the hell up. So obviously my own thumbnails are fine and easily recognizable. And that's what a lot of people care about. From time to time, I experiment with new formats here, which is kind of neat. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of them are just the same thing. I'm just like staring vaguely out to the side. This one was pretty funny. I like this one. I like this one too. Had AI. And then, yeah, you know, as I scaled my money and stuff, I started talking more about the money. You can see I moved a couple of times from like place to place. So different places here. Had some black or white thumbnail strategies. And then as I was becoming better and better and better with Skool, eventually I hit all-time #1. So I started talking about that. 248,000. That was pretty cool when I hit 250K and became the GOAT. Then I had a bunch of trips, started traveling, changed the thumbnail format a bit. Text got way bigger. Had a couple of off days for sure. Average view number started shooting way the hell up. So now all of them are over 2,000 views. And then I had a couple of standout crazy ones, like this one that had 20,000 views on my daily updates channel. This one had 5,300. This one here that hit 6,300, obviously, because of Hormozzi's biceps. And then, yeah, you know, a bunch of them have just been 2 to 4K range. This is the one that I meant to record the other day. Sorry, I meant to publish the other day, but didn't. So that's kind of cool. I'm at 22 minutes now, so I'm going to cap it. But yeah, it's nice going back in time, seeing some daily updates. Shit, man, it's about to be a thunderstorm. That's brutal. Definitely not hitting the gym anytime soon. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys. Cheers.